That's the song that's threatening to overtake Yan Pahashanho from the Heineken commercial as the hit of the summer. Hello and welcome to the NMGSports podcast. I'm Jody Newell. Just on the Giants theme song, you have to ask yourself, does any self-respecting footy fan honestly love other club songs? Can a Tigers fan say they enjoy the Magpies tune? Or can Crows fans tap their feet to the power to win? I doubt if the Eagles fans can sing a heave-ho for Freo. Look, the point is, a club song isn't meant to please everybody. Huge congratulations must go out to Cat Empire's Harry Angus, the composer. The song reminds one of the infamous Fable Singers' 70s classics that still ring out at the MCG today. Harry, we are with you on this one and can't wait to hear the song belting out at the MCG after a Giants victory. On a more serious note, it was a big night out at the Blacktown International Sports Centre as Greater Western Sydney played their first official AFL fixture, a Round 1 NAB Cup match against the Western Bulldogs and Collingwood. They put in a great performance, going down by less than a kick in both games. Boom recruit Izzy Folau struggled to get a touch, but on a positive note received vital match practice. Some of the young signings in Reece Kuyu, Curtly Hampton and Dom Tyson looked promising, as did skipper Phil Davis. Veterans such as James McDonald and Luke Power will be invaluable in terms of experience and provided much needed stability around the packs. Being his usual philosophical self, Coach Sheedy said that the future looked good for the Giants. Let's hear what Sheeds had to say at the post-game press conference.
Look, we could have, but we didn't, and our players will they'll learn a lot from that. It's basically the first time that we've ever actually played a game where we could tape them. It's our first game ever. It would be great to get back and edit out the tapes and let all the boys know where they did well and where they can improve. I thought we actually said that we're not going to waste the 80 precious minutes we can when we get out there and play a game, and we competed right up to the siren, and there was even an opportunity where it's dark in here. I feel like I'm a giant in a cave. Yeah, this is Blacktown. Look, I think that out of it in the end, we'll get a lot, and everybody gets experience. Obviously the experienced players we took off at half time. We wanted to play 34 players, which was really good. So every one of the guys that were out there, and most of their parents and a lot of grandparents were up to have a look at them, so they want to play well in front of the family. And we had the opportunity to win both. Yeah, we had the ball in our hands with 30 seconds to go and could have nailed them both. And I'm not sure what the sum of the score was, but it might have been about a goal between the two losses.
8 points in both games.
8.
Yeah, combined. 11-1.
Not far away, well, a long way away from 120-minute game, but at least they know now what it's like to play on some players that have been top-class level players, and we need that experience. They'll learn by that.
Were you at all surprised by how competitive you were?
But look, I wasn't sure, I'll be honest. We've had a number of these players like Giles and Clifton and Bug and these boys, Miles, Jacob Townsend. They're pretty good, solid sort of people, and I was really pleased. Josh Bruce played very, very well. I thought that was great. He needs to get some consistency into his game, but it's definitely a decided advantage to help young Moore down in the back half.
Very quiet.
Yeah, he'll learn from that. That's his first game, really, of AFL football. When you're running around in the NEFL and playing practice matches. I mean, look, this time last year he hadn't even played. He's still recuperating. So he worked that out. But the thing I liked about what he did early in the game was he actually went hunting, and that was good. Now he needs to build up that aerobic capacity to play in the midfield, to keep the ball in if he doesn't mark it. And look, I think where he is at his stage, he'll play in the next match, and we'll just keep playing until he understands and learns the game. And I did that with heaps of players at Essendon, and those guys had not had a lot of kicks, a lot of touches in the early days. But if you find out and you believe in them and they believe in you, then it's amazing what you get. And guys like Billy Duckworth and never probably got a kick in the first 6 weeks of his career. Kevin Walsh, Dean Wallace, Well, they all played in premierships and played wonderful grand finals, but I can tell you now, they hardly touched the ball. Even the great Gavin Wanganeen hardly got a kick in the forward line when he went to play at Essendon, and he had played a lot of footy before he crossed over from Port Adelaide. But when he went down the back pocket, he actually found the ball. So we've got to work all that our stuff with this year.
What was the overall message, Kevin, that you gave to the playing group after that?
Well, I said, look, Australia doesn't know you. The AFL fans wouldn't know who you are. Western Bulldogs and Collingwood really wouldn't really know the players that we sent out there, or much of the players that we sent out there tonight. But the one thing they'll learn is that we are a competitive side, and we need to teach that into our players. And so I said, look, you got 80 minutes to let Australia have a look at what sort of character and quality, a type of player or person that you want to be in your footy career now. Not maybe in a year or two or three. We're going to cop some hits this year, but I want to find out, because every time you lose or you cop a hit in a game of footy, then it'll more than likely, if you learn from it, it'll make you a better person off the field as well as on the field, and you'll know how to fight for your career and challenge yourself. Now, that's where we're going, and we're going to a huge challenge this year.
But thinking with wrestling or the AFL experience after the second game, was it purely just so you could play all 34? Was there an element of, let's see how you go against the Brownlow Meadows and team that's just played?
No, well, we made that decision on Thursday, Friday night. We weren't worried about who was running out there for Collingwood. We were going to play the 34 players, and we're going to have to move our team into different team slots throughout the year, and I want to get as many on-field experiences for these young players, because, when you even played Mark McCura, James Hird twice in 1992, just those two games were so important for the rest of their career. They actually blossomed into really good players. So just that sort of experience, or at least I know what the standard is. I know what AFL standard is. Just getting out there in matches like what's coming up even the next few weeks with... these two teams have probably been in the finals, obviously, quite often in the last 5 or 6 years, even Western Bulldogs. And next match, I think, is probably Hawthorn. Kick away from a grand final, so that'll be another big test, because that's going to be a full-on game, long test, and we'll take the 3 Tasmanian boys down. We'll take Sam Darley, Andrew Phillips, and Morey, fullback. So that'll give them an opportunity in Tasmania to see how they want to play and how we want to bring the Giants into the island of Tasmania. So we've got a lot of big opportunities coming up for this team to gain some more experience.
Kevin, it's been a long time between drinks for yourself as a head coach.
Last night I had a drink.
As a head coach, let's forget about the Sauvignon Blanc 96 vintage that we drank a few weeks ago.
Okay.
What did you get out of this personally?
Well, what I got out of it as a coach, sitting in a box with line coaches more now than ever before, that probably haven't spent a lot of time with each other. Last year I was on the ground because we could do that in the NEFL and sit behind the forward line for 1 quarter, and then stand behind there and be very close to a young back line. And you could be on the field over the fence, very close, giving advice there and then in the game. Well, you can't do that in the AFL. So I think that what I got out of that is how myself and my coaching team operate, how the team that will be on the bench at an AFL standard have got to operate. We've got to get that better. And I think in the end, some of the really good advice from the experienced players when they come off the field after the first game, and I'm talking about, obviously a Luke Power or a McDonald or a Brogan, Chad Corns, they were very, very good to listen to about what they thought could be done. And so that was pretty handy. And not coaching for 3 years to 4 years, it's good to find straight up the field, players wanting to help you keep developing a coach coming back into the game like myself. So I really appreciated that from my full-time coaches and my playing coaches. That was really good, tonight.
If Kevin Sheedy was pleased, the AFL would have been satisfied with the reasonable crowd of 7,000 that turned up at Blacktown. You have to consider that the Charity Shield and the West Tigers were playing nearby, so the night could be deemed a success for all and sundry. We asked Blue Mountains-based fan Jonah Lee what he thought about the GWS debut.
Yeah, it was good. I came down expecting a good game. It's going really good at the moment. We're winning by, 7 points or something?
Over Collingwood, yeah.
Yeah, that's wonderful. It's really good for the team,
good,
isn't it? Oh, definitely. Sure. No one likes Collingwood, so it's going really good.
Have you always been an AFL fan, or have you been drawn to the game?
Not always. I've been a bit of a leaguey, but now I've turned to AFL now, which is good. I've enjoyed it, and I've become a member now for GWS, so that'll be good.
Why did you come and what do you like about AFL?
Well, I like the tactics and all that. Like I like the way the game's run. Like I like the idea of it's like a team game kind of, and it's enjoyable to watch and all that kind of stuff. And it's good to be a part of. Really, I like it. It's good.
And Jonah, just very quickly, what do you think of Israel Folau tonight on his first sort of major big game tonight?
He didn't go too bad. He did his job really. He was out there to do what he did, and hopefully he'll improve in the next couple of games. So it'll be good.
Well, if the fans were happy, how did the opposing coaches view the GWS? First off, we asked Western Bulldogs coach Brendan McCartney about his first night in the coach's box, and then about the GWS debut. Brendan, it's your first game tonight, officially. How did you find it tonight?
It was good. Yeah. It's interesting, the dynamics in the box, getting to know each other, and when to balance out changing a player into a different position as against giving a coaching point of difference, and that'll come. I got to know my coaches the first time I've worked with that group of coaches in a match environment, so I got to know more about them, when to get them to speak up a little bit more, when to quieten some of them down, and that's important too for us and also important that the players get to see how the messages are passed on. I interacted a lot with the players tonight deliberately because they're out there playing to see what they were seeing and how they were feeling. So yeah, I think we learned a lot.
And just the first for the Giants tonight too, it's a big night for them as well too. And just on the other side, how did you feel they went tonight?
Yeah, they were terrific. I think they showed with ball in hand what they're going to be, and they were good round the ball. Have some stronger bodies that have played at the level for a while. I think we all looked on in envy at the boys they were able to draft. I saw them getting up on stage draft day, and it's a bit like Christmas Day. I thought I wouldn't mind one of him, I wouldn't mind that one, I wouldn't mind that one, and I'm sure they'll train them up and develop them well. But we're happy with our young boys. We think we drafted well. We think our young players have all the right ingredients, and we think we're training them up the right way, and history should judge that for us.
Another coach making his debut at the helm was Collingwood coach Nathan Buckley, who was also impressed with the Giants' first up performance.
No, I think in the end you've got to give credit to that group of young players, and they could have easily won the Bulldogs game as well. So they'd be wrapped with their performance. I suppose they would have loved to have had a win, and they would have loved to have knocked us off. But ultimately, you want to see people go about it the right way, and their effort at clearances and contested ball was what we expected. You give them a sniff, they're up and about, and that's exactly what happened. We had to fight hard there in the second half of that game to get back. Oh, look, they're a very young list. There's a very young group, but to be honest, the team that played against us was without some of their more experienced players. So, what you saw is great enthusiasm and exuberance from a young group of players. The problem that you get with that, if you've over the course of a football season that an elite level like the AFL, is that you're going to get your ups and downs. So the GWS are going to have their ups and downs, but if they can find that sort of energy in their football, it was a one-on-one contested brand of football all over the ground, and if you can play that brand of footy, well then you can compete against anyone, and they were able to do that tonight. So there's no reason why they can't compete well and compete hard and win a few games, win their fair share of games because of that.
That was Collingwood coach Nathan Buckley. Well, that's a wrap for today. If you have any feedback or comments, please drop us a line at info@newellmediagroup.com. We'd like to thank the AFL's media dynamic duo of Amy Hatton and Amanda Brookhouse. We appreciate your help on a pretty busy night out at Blacktown. From the NMG studios in Vaucluse, Sydney, Australia, I'm Jody Newell, and catch you next time.